These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
It's a statements edition of the OG Score North podcast, Mackey and Judd. Hopefully we see a bunch of you at the Minnesota State Fair later this week and next week. Score North shows are going to be there from noon to 3 every weekday, starting this Thursday and then Friday, and then all 5 days, weekdays next week. Full information at scorenorth.com/fair. And while you're out there, you can get into a Pronto Pup or 2 or 10, Judd.
Yep. Mustard only, no ketchup, but Pronto Pup is absolutely outstanding. In fact, guess what, folks? It's the original food on a stick at the fair. Are you kidding me? A day at the fair is not complete without a Pronto Pup, which is delicious. Founded in 1947 by the Carnes family. 8 great locations throughout the fairgrounds. So you turn left, you turn right. No matter where you turn, guess what? There's going to be a Pronto Pup stand. Make sure you support them because it is the official food on a stick. And also don't forget to stop by our Score North booth, which is right by the grandstand at the fair, and pick up your very own Judd on a stick. That's right. Not just the Pronto Pups,
Look at him.
but look at that handsome guy with that hairline and that widow's peak, I guess you call it. Whatever it is, Judd on a stick. Yeah, it's okay. Pronto Pup on a stick with mustard. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Okay, we all agreed unanimously before the show started here that the first statement should have something to do with all of the buzz Rob Manfred created surrounding MLB expansion and realignment. So I will pose it to you guys this way. I am fascinated by some of the projections or predictions for where the Twins might land divisionally if Major League Baseball does this. So there's a bunch of different. So some of the first of all, there's 30 teams right now. Baseball, which I personally feel like needs to get buttoned up with the 30 current teams that it has. Well, they're looking to maybe add 2 more teams. They're probably eyeing the expansion fees that new billionaire owners would be pumping in. So there's a revenue influx. I get it. Nashville's been talked about. Charlotte or Raleigh have been talked about. Salt Lake City and Portland on the west side of the Mississippi have been talked about. But so whatever 2 teams you pick, then you'd have 32 teams, either split between American, National, and 4 divisions, or you'd get rid of American and National. I want to give you 2 examples here, and then this conversation can go wherever you want it to go. Stephen J. Nesbitt from The Athletic projected 4 different divisions within each league. So American and National League still stand, and you have East, North, South, West, just like you have in the NFL. And the Twins would be part of the American League North with the Tigers, Guardians, and White Sox. So who's the team that would be left out there? It'd be the Royals, I guess, would be in the American League South.
No.
Don't like this already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me give you one more. And then I'll
keep
shut
going.
up.
I think you're going to hit. I think you're going to hit one that we all like.
Yep.
Okay, so Jim Bowden has one where it is. It's not American and National. I don't think it's just. It's Eastern and Western Conference is what he's doing.
Yes.
So you would have in the Midwest division of the Western Conference, you'd have the Twins, Cubs, White Sox, and Brewers.
Oh God, sign me up. Sign me up. Oh, I love this. I would love this.
So Chicago and Milwaukee, every divisional opponent would be within like a 6-hour drive.
Correct.
Of the metro area.
Correct.
Sweet.
Yes, this is the direction it has to go. And by the way, this is the stuff that Manfred does that I don't mind at all. Like he's got some goofy things going. Certainly the financial state of the game, not all his fault, is not in very good shape. But this is it. If you're going to do this, do not be like, well, we got to remain. We have to retain the sanctity of the American and National Leagues and you know the White Sox and Twins and Guardians. No, Jim Bowden's idea. Can you imagine? Brewers trips to Wrigley. The White Sox can stay there. That's fine. I love this. And here's so I have loved. I mean. This whole show has now, we're different ages, so this is going to change a little bit. But, you know, I've loved baseball essentially my entire life. And there was a time I was very much a traditionalist. But you know what? Much like we see this in different media entities, I guess. There comes a point in time where you cannot worry about what the old guard thinks. how they consume things,
Yeah,
how your
screw you
sport
guys.
used
Yeah.
to be.
Honestly,
You know what? Like yeah, but
I'm
just
serious.
like I agree with you.
Yeah,
Just,
you boomers who bought houses for $12,000
well,
and
or me. What, Gen X, right?
I was calling you a boomer, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you're more
Well,
Gen
yes.
X than boomer. Yeah.
Yes, I'm a Gen Xer, but yes, but I grew up, and I've told you guys for a long time. I used to love it when the pitchers hit. You guys laughed, but the reality is this game needs an influx of new ideas. It needs a different look. And for those who say I will give up on baseball, baseball's dead to me if they do this. Bye bye. We'll see you
Bye.
later. Because guess what? You're going to be replaced potentially by a younger person who falls in the demographics of what you want. I am actually in 2025 all in, and give me Cubs, White Sox, Brewers, and Twins. Give it to me.
Yeah, I first off, I love that realignment idea. It's preposterous that the Twins do not play in the same division as the Brewers, and two of their current Central Division teams are on the Eastern time zone. Let me repeat that. There's two Central Division teams in the Eastern time zone. What are we doing? I never understood
agree.
that. And then this is the one that set me off yesterday. So I'll throw the stone. Howie Rose, play-by-play voice of the Mets on radio, tweeted yesterday when he tweeted the clip that went viral during the Little League World Series game on Sunday, talking about the realignment, saying that this is what I've been telling you is inevitable for quite a while now. The American League, 1901, and the National League, 1876, will cease to exist as we know them, the last move before total destruction of the traditions that made baseball great. Dude, get out of the way. Get out of the way. I can tell you right now, Howie Rose, you haven't watched a Tigers Guardians game and thought, this is great for baseball. You care about your own division, which, okay, I understand it. Like, there could be a super division team on the East Coast. Like, that they have to be careful about that. And Jeff Passan talked about it on McAfee yesterday about how this is still a tiptoeing situation that they have to be very cognizant of for alignment and that stuff. But this idea that we have nuked the tradition of baseball, which has already been kind of destructing itself with other things that don't have to do with the American League since 1901 and the National League since 1876. There's bigger problems in baseball. Realignment, I'm for. And for the Twins' sake, I would love for them to be closer and having a more legitimate rivalry with the Brewers and Cubs. That amplifies things. So from a Twins side, I think it's great.
Yep.
Can this whole notion that, like, you brought up the Mets play-by-play guy, that the sanctity of baseball's traditions that date back to 1876 and the National League. Baseball is the only one of the four major team sports that clings to things from 100 years ago, 150 years ago. Just as a fun test here, I'm going to kind of put the sports dad on the spot here. Can you how many you can name baseball players from the 1920s, right? Just name some baseball players from the 1920s.
Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Tris Speaker. I believe Roger Hornsby played in the 20s. Yeah.
So, okay. Now name some NFL players from the 1930s.
Bronco Nagurski, Steel Toes McGraw.
Is that a
cartoon character?
Big Head Nelson.
Right?
Big Head Nelson.
I mean,
yeah,
literally, like,
Bronco
the
Nagurski's one of
NFL, we'll tip our cap. Like, the big, what's kind of sad is one of the big knocks on the NFL is how much they do forget about players from the past, to the point where, like, medically and some of the players that paved the way for the sport. So I'm not saying the NFL does it right by ignoring players from the past.
Right.
But baseball makes it seem like Babe Ruth, overweight, eating hot dogs, is to be talked about in the same way that Shohei Ohtani should be talked about now,
okay.
right? It's like, dude, I think we properly recognize the value of the current version of the sport in basketball. Basketball, you want to go back to the origins, the sanctity and the origins of basketball.
Yeah.
When basketball was invented by James Naismith or whoever else in like the 1800s, 1890s, early 1900s, the first iteration of basketball was a peach basket with the cover on the bottom still, basically nailed to the top of a pole with no backboard. And so you'd throw the ball, there they go, throw the ball into the peach basket.
Yeah.
And somebody would climb a ladder, take the ball out of the peach basket, and then someone decided, what if we cut a hole in the bottom to make it easier? And added a backboard, and then added this and that. And eventually, in the early 80s, they were like, you know what? Basketball's been around for almost 100 years, and we could spice things up by, I don't know, drawing a new line on the court. And so, like, all these other sports are just transforming left and right. And baseball is like, oh, my God, I don't know if we can realign divisions. That might be too much for the 70-year-old fan that's clinging to his pearls.
And baseball's conundrum is that, unlike the National Football League, basketball, it was in its heyday in like the 20s. Like it was the sport. It was boxing, horse racing, and baseball.
Yeah.
So baseball is, but like the most famous game supposedly in the National Football League was what, a playoff game between the Colts and Giants, like 1957, which is yesterday compared to baseball. And basketball was, I think the first NBA champion was crowned in like the early 50s. So like they don't have this, your record book is the sacred ground of Babe Ruth. Like they didn't have that. They were playing the sports and football was around, but nobody really gives a crap about it, but they need to get past that. Like,
yes.
You need to keep people, this is not hard. People want change in baseball because, look, it was too long. They put in a clock. I mean, a lot of what they've done has destroyed the, in air quotes, sanctity, but it's all good changes.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to, for all we complain about, or for all that I still hear complaints about, the Manfred man, you put a guy on second base. I remember shortly before that rule went into place, there was like a 17-inning game in like May against the Red Sox.
The Twins had two
The Rays game, too.
16-plus inning games in the
Nobody
span
wants
of a
that.
month.
Yeah, has that. So those things that were deemed radical changes, right? Radical changes. We're going to put a runner on second base. We're going to eliminate the shift. We're going to make the bases a little bit bigger. Have you in the last 5 years thought to yourself, this is unrecognizable, the game that I once fell in love with?
No, of course not. Of course not. And here's the thing too is when you have an interleague game or multiple ones every day of the week, what is the sanctity of the different leagues? Like the sanctity used to be, the American League does not face the National League until the World Series. Like that was the sanctity. The second you started to say, screw it, let's have teams playing each other, which by the way, again, I have no problem with, but that destroyed the supposed sanctity. So like realigning is the next logical progression.
Yeah. You know what else is funny? So the old, this is even before Judd was born, the San Francisco Giants used to be the New York Giants from 1891 through 1957. And so this is one of the premier Major League Baseball teams in the first like 60 years of Major League Baseball. 70 years, first like 70 years. Then they moved from, because New York had the Yankees, the Giants baseball team, and the Brooklyn Dodgers all in the same city, basically. Yeah. And then the Giants and the Dodgers moved west in the 50s or the early 60s or whatever it was. But the home stadium for the New York baseball Giants before they moved to San Francisco was the Polo Grounds.
Yep. And
the Polo Grounds, if you have ever seen a map of it, down the right field line, so for a left-handed pull hitter in like the 1950s, it was 258 feet to hit a home run to right field. It was 279 feet to hit a home run to left field. Center field, because it was literally like a football stadium. It was to hit a home run center field was 483 feet. And then they had like the alleyways. It was 450 to both of the alleyways. So okay, wait a second. The sanctity of how baseball was played. We completely reshaped what stadiums are like in the biggest markets in America. And that clearly drastically impacted numbers, but no one talks about that. Yeah. People just romanticize the way they want about this sport.
There was a great stand-up bit the other day just about how, and maybe this is a complete side tangent, but like how ridiculous it is that there's no universal stadium distance. Everywhere is different. Yankee Stadium, it's 309. Houston, it's a different area. Can you imagine if Steve Kerr was getting his Golden State Warriors ready to rock and go, hey, good news tonight, guys. We're playing the Bulls where the rims are 7 feet tall.
Right.
Imagine how goofy that would sound.
The
And
3-point line is at half court. It's
what? So that whole thing is just strange. And baseball needs to figure out a lot of things. Okay, like number one, the TV revenue situation is at the forefront. Manipulating service time and how many times guys can be sent down. Like there are some things here that are still really goofy. And I do agree with Manfred. He likes to still use the same example of when Boston plays Anaheim, like you have a time zone situation that is bonkers. Now, if it's postseason, you got to deal with it. Like that is what it is. But it is some city is either going to be watching that game way too late or way too early. So let's put some uniformity in there for regular season stuff, while also still creating and putting in decent rivalries that are going to like. That's the biggest thing, and that's the biggest hurdle they have to figure out is can they remain with some of those rivalries, or can you start new ones?
What people don't want, I think, especially the younger fan, is this. Maybe this year the Mets and Yankees will play in the World Series, and we'll see them play a bunch of times, but there's no real race there, right? They want them in the same division. They want them in the same. It's more fun. It's more fun, and like the last, and I think only time the Mets and Yankees have played in a World Series was the year 2000. So like that's what you want to create, but you want to create the excitement for the upcoming fans. Sorry, but the old people are old people. They're going to cling to their stuff. They're going to cling to baseball as they knew it. They're going to cling to, let's say, radio, because that's what they knew. But these things have changed. So I got no problem with this. And actually, the Twins and like Cubs, I think being in the same division would be great fun. And do you know the back and forth for fans? I mean, especially to Wrigley, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. So just to tie it back, two more questions off this, and to tie it back into a Twin standpoint for the first one. So if it was a 4-team division, do we all agree that Brewers have to be in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cubs and Whites, I would, and then so if it's between these other teams. I don't know that there's like a huge attachment for me to the Tigers, who are further east than both Chicago teams, or the Royals. There's never really been like a great Royals rivalry. No. White Sox has been, not lately, but a really good rivalry with some tension over the years.
White Sox Cubs have to be together.
And White Sox Cubs. So Twins, White Sox, Cubs, Brewers, that's the division, man, right?
Yeah. 100%. I think so. I think that's the best one. And even like, I guess Chicago, like when they would play the Cubs, like they're not going to be traveling to a different hotel. So like they're sleeping in their own beds per se, which I guess is kind of an advantage. But you're not going far and you're staying in the same time zone. That like to me, that matters. And you're not getting on an airplane as much, like or not going as farther on an airplane. So I think that would be the best one. I think for Twins fans, and like preserving rivalry, if this one that Nesbitt threw out of White Sox, Guardians, Tigers, I think nothing would really feel different to a Twins fan.
Agreed. And then my other thing is, with all these different, you're going to pick an East Coast one, either Charlotte or Nashville. If it's between, if there's like a West Coast discussion here, Las Vegas is already going to get a team because the A's are headed there at some point, so that's covered. Portland, you got a team in Seattle. That's close enough. I love the Salt Lake City idea because it would just be another. The Rockies have been so bad, but when the Rockies are good, it's fun because the ball it's offense in that stadium, and the same would be true with the elevation in Utah, I think, right? So
how about this idea?
Color me intrigued.
How about Vancouver? Gorgeous city.
It is a
long
gorgeous
way from
city.
Toronto. I think it could support a team.
Okay.
I'm just throwing
out the Canadians
ideas,
all excited.
But
They wanted a team back in Montreal, and so how about we put one in Vancouver over there instead? Okay.
But I tend to agree with your point, which is it's incredibly important, I think, to get the current franchises as stable as possible. And I know sports don't care about that, but you gotta get the Sacramento team to Vegas first, and you're gonna have to get an answer, I think, with the Rays. Now I know they're being sold, and hopefully that works out. But there are some teams that are just in sort of, if not disarray, they really don't have a path yet. And I think I would like to see them have a path before you start to add teams in.
Yeah. And also think about it. When you realign, those Cubs players are going to be able to book tee times more often at the Meadows
right.
at Mystic when they're in town. You know?
Damn right. Golfthemeadows.com, Cubbies fans. Joe Madden. Boog even. Come on, Shambi. Come. I don't know if he can swing him. Let's go here. Golfthemeadows.com. Old friend Willie Castro, maybe even swinging the sticks there. So go to golfthemeadows.com to book that next tee time. If you're a Vikings fan too, and maybe you're traveling up from below the border of Minnesota, or even just you're traveling to a Vikings game, go book your tee time. Bring your golf clubs with you. Go to golfthemeadows.com to book that next tee time.
Green Mill Pizza is powering Mackey and Judd here. So it's our friends at Pep's Pizza who also make legit pizza, which we've talked about, and Green Mill Pizza, a Minnesota favorite now in your freezer. If you've ever dined at an iconic Green Mill restaurant, you already know about this incredible food, including, by the way, not only just pizza in your grocery store freezer section, breadsticks and sauces from Green Mill as well. Tavern-style pizza that you will salivate over. Learn more at greenmillfoods.com. That's greenmillfoods.com. And just a reminder for all the men of Score North podcasts, Purple Daily, Mackey and Judd, there is a massive need right now for organ donors in Minnesota. Only 57% of people in our region are registered as donors, but there's 2,000 people in Minnesota waiting for a life-saving transplant. So 4 ways to register as a donor. Your driver's license, when you apply or renew, check that box. Online at life-source.org or in your iPhone health app. You could also do it when you're purchasing a hunting or fishing license online. Age and health history do not exclude you. So those are not reasons for you to disqualify yourself as an organ donor. Okay. Who's got the next statement?
Yeah, I'll go. Can we stop replying all on emails? Like big emails. And all like beyond, I'm not saying like your team, because like let's say your team is like a dozen or 10 people. That's fine.
What is the acceptable line? Like the amount of people on a group email thread where replying all is obnoxious?
I would say
the 20?
Yeah, probably like over a dozen to 20, 2 dozen. Like if it's a company wide blast, whether it's something silly or whether it's a reminder, we do not need to reply all when that message is likely going to just one person that you do. Now,
yeah, so Declan's, I'm not going to like out everyone involved here, but there's it was somebody prominent that we all respect's birthday. And there is a happy birthday thread that includes like several wings of the company. So there's probably like a few hundred people on this email, and people are just like ding, 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 memes, happy birthdays. It's a little aggressive. And listeners have probably been there before at their work or whatever, family email.
Why are you replying
threads.
all, though? Why don't you just reply to the person who it was intended for?
Well, here's the problem, though, is I think sometimes like the person that starts the chain is shouting out maybe one person.
Yeah, like, hey, it's this person's birthday
Right, cool.
right here, right?
Cool, but then take it down to that person and say, if you want. I don't want.
So if you're going to reply, just reply to the person whose birthday it is.
Yeah,
right?
and somebody told you that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, furthermore, do adults really need a happy birthday? I mean,
this is Judd's statement.
I mean, let's parse through this. Do adults really need? Oh, it's your birthday. You're not 12. You're not 13.
But it's nice to get a little acknowledgement. Once a year, just hey,
I think
hey, I see you over there, friend, family member, coworker. Happy
Judd did not know it was my birthday last year, or I think even any year. You know what my birthday is, Judd?
No, I have no idea. And quite frankly, it's not that I don't care. I mean, if you tell me, and guess what now? I'll see it on Facebook. But this whole thing about work birthdays, hey, it's my birthday and I'm at work and now I'm getting these happy birthdays. I mean, in 4th grade, that's awesome. Just allow me to get through my day.
Do you remember back in the old 1500 ESPN days, and I don't think this happens anymore. I think like the pandemic kind of got rid of some of these like office norms, that there'd be like a monthly birthday cake.
Yes.
So, which, listen, I appreciate. Hey, we're looking out. Hey, shout out to those November birthdays. Here's a cake. And, you could go, if your birthday was on November 3rd and somebody else was November 20th, this is the community November birthday cake for everyone to celebrate. You didn't feel just a little bit like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. There's someone's looking out for me.
It's more using like email. Like I got no problem with that because the company was trying, but it's when somebody like you don't need an email thread. I don't need to see. Look, we all know in our company in particular, right? There is a major concern about viruses being sent and being careful about what you open and you don't
click on questionable links.
Exactly. Let's keep. So, I mean, I can't tell you from a business perspective the amount of emails that I've deleted that I probably should read. But I'm so paranoid now. I just hit bang, swipe, gone.
Yeah, I think the company probably appreciates that because if there's even like a 5% risk that you would just get duped into a phishing email, they're like, you know what, we'll just. But then Judd's on a need-to-know basis. We'll tell him. You know what I want you to do? Reply all to the thread that Declan's bringing up right now. Reply all and say like all caps. Click on this link for a 20% off birthday card, birthday gift discount.
Yes, flashing something. That's exactly right. Exactly right.
So would you prefer that like we don't text you happy birthday or shout you out on your birthday on the podcast?
My friends want to, but I don't want to hear it. I don't want a company-wide blast, and then I'm getting, Joan in accounting who I've never met and don't know her name.
Joan.
Happy birthday. Like, it's fine, like if my friends do. But this was company-wide. Like, this was people that don't deal with that person much. They know who the person is.
Okay, so let's just say I jumped the line. Maybe not jumped the line, but I, instead of replying all that email, sent to this person, just texted this person a happy birthday message.
That's cool.
I did that, by the way.
I did that. Cool. I did that. That's what I did.
Look at that. See, we're looking out for people in our lives.
But that's personalized. Yes. But what I'm saying is when you get the email blast tells you, hey, it's this person's birthday. Which is, okay, that's out there. Then I think you respond personally or you reach out to that person personally if you want, like you guys did.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be like a whole thing.
It's the height of laziness to hit reply all and be happy birthday.
My favorite is like the mistaken reply all, which happens once in a while from people.
Those are great, yeah.
Where it's very clear, and sometimes it's just innocent where, that was probably meant to just be a one-to-one, but whatever. But then there's the times where someone rips somebody and replies all.
There is nothing worse than the feeling too when you hit send and you're like, did I type the right person's name? Because like if you don't like the person and you're thinking about them and you type their name and then you write and then you hammer them and then you're like, oh my God, did I send that to the wrong place? That's a scary thing.
It's also like, at least on mobile, if I have this right, like you have to do a couple more clicks to get to reply all. Like on normal side, when you reply, like it's just going to reply individually to the first person that initiated the send or the one that you are replying to. Yeah. Yes. So replying all, in my opinion, takes extra work for you to do. So why are you doing it?
Yeah, it's a great. Now I would even take this conversation a step further, which is. I'm okay if we just kind of move email off and down the list of the ways in which you communicate with coworkers in favor of like if you've got Teams or Slack, I'm trying to get better at Teams. So we use Teams at Score North. I think I like Slack better, but
I like
the
Slack
company uses Teams, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you can create like different chats with different people for different subjects too. And then you don't have to worry about the worst thing is when you're away from your email and you see like an important thread and there's like 15 emails that other people have been going back and forth on. I had this happen yesterday. Someone had forwarded me like there was 15 emails and they said, Phil, what do you think? And I was like, oh God, do I like comb through all these emails or do I take the lazy way out? And I literally replied with, can someone summarize the previous 15 emails into like one succinct question and then I will answer it?
I'm on one right now with you, Phil, for an endorser, and it goes to like April when an original endorsement started.
Thread started.
Wow. And I'm trying to read through it and then it drives me crazy.
You could probably have like Chat GPT summarize it too or something, but
I think I brought it up before, but like I have a Slack chat with my high school friends, And it's actually a great way to still keep in touch with all my friends. I mean, like, only 2 of us live here. Everyone lives like all across the country. Even like one lives in Australia. So like it's like a good communication hub. And we have like a dozen channels.
So
Animals.
for that same group, you've got different categories of things that, okay.
Animals, beverages, career talk, food, gambling, house stuff, lifestyle, baseball, money, musings, NFL, the chat. Like it's very siloed into numerous things that we can bring up to.
This gives Judd anxiety, I can tell.
Gen X didn't do this. Yeah,
No.
'cause we didn't grow up with this. So
No, but Gen X probably built the tools though, right?
Well, they probably did, but I'm not involved in it, and I didn't have it. And so, yeah, it does give me anxiety because it just sounds like so much. I think next week on this show, though, we need to just get to the elephant in the proverbial room, the out of office reply.
Oh,
Declan's
you know
talked
what?
about.
Let's do that. Okay, let's mark that as a theme for the week. It'll be for the Friday. We're gonna do a Friday State Fair episode this week.
Yeah.
Themes from the week. How do we feel about the out of office reply? And what are the
Abused
lines?
beyond belief right now.
Yeah, and our guy Ross Brendel is becoming an abuser of it too, and he might be there. We can even like have an intervention with Ross if needed.
Perfect.
That would be great, actually.
Yeah, if you're like down the hallway, listen. You can reply when you reply. Well, we'll get to it on Friday.
Yeah, because there should be rules. Like, to me, there's very simple rules to fix this problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Love it. I think we're gonna every one of the world's communication problems we're gonna solve here, episode by episode, on Mackey and Judd, the OG Score North podcast. See you guys.